All right, this is a good question. I haven't done area of trapezoids in a while. Good refresher. So they're asking us to find the area of this trapezoid below. There were two formulas that we explored to help us find the area of a trapezoid. Both were based off of the area of a parallelogram formula. So we don't have a parallelogram here. These sides here are clearly not parallel, but these two bases are. That is why this is a trapezoid. One pair of opposite sides are parallel. The other two are not. So what we said is, well, if we cut this trapezoid in half, like I've done here, and if we kind of flip the top half of this trapezoid down, it will lay nice and flat. These this side length will match up with the same slant as the bottom half, and will create a nice parallelogram because this slanted part will match the same slant as that side there. So we now have a parallelogram. And if we look at that, there, we now have a formula that would work. We have a parallelogram here, and the formula for the parallelogram is the base times the height. So the base of our trapezoid here, of our parallelogram here, is the two bases combined. So this is the base of the parallelogram, and the height. And the height of our parallelogram is only half of the height, is half of the height of our trapezoid here. So our parallelogram here is base times height, which is the two bases of our parallelogram, or two bases of our trapezoid. And the height of what would be our parallelogram is only half of that because we took half and flipped it over. So I do this formula if I can cut the height in half fairly easily. So in this case, I can divide 8 by 2 pretty easily. So I'll write the formula. So area is 1/2 of the height, 1/2 of the height, and then I'm going to multiply that by the bases. I'm going to call the bottom B1 and the top B2. It's really, you can change either one. So I've got area is 1/2 of 8 times 13 plus 4. I know that 1/2 of 8 is 4. And if I add the bases together, I get 17. So my formula for my parallelogram here would be 4 times 17. And the area of our shape then is, what would that be, 68 centimeters squared, or square centimeters. All right. Now, if I can't cut the height in half, well, I mean, I can, but it would leave us with 5.5. 5.5 if I were to move it down. And I don't really want to deal with decimals right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this method where I'm just going to take this trapezoid and double it. And I've done that method here. So let me actually bring this one down. Handy dandy dragging tool. And let's bring it down to where we're working, hopefully. Whoa, what is happening? Let me pause this and we're back. So this formula here that I use is equivalent to the formula that I'm going to use up here. All right, just written in a different way. This one you're taking 1/2 of the height, and here we're just going to divide it by 2 at the end. Both will be equivalent mathematically. Let's just take a look at this one. So this one, instead of cutting the trapezoid in half, I'm going to just double this trapezoid and kind of flip it over and rotate it. So we've got two identical trapezoids, and now we're going to find the area of this guy here. The area of this guy is still base times height, and in our case, the base of our parallelogram is now base 1 plus base 2 is the base of our parallelogram, and the height is still the height. So that would get us the area of this whole parallelogram here. But we weren't asked to find that. We were just asked to find the area of one of these. So I would want to divide it by 2 afterwards. Because I don't want this one. I only want one of them. I want half of what I have. So I'm going to need to divide it by 2 at the end. And here's what we have. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take, so area is the bases added together times the height divided by 2. So we've got, if we rewrite it, we've got 21 plus 16 times 11 divided by 2. 21 plus 16, do a little order of operations. 21 plus 16 is 37. And this is going to be equivalent to 37 times 11 is 407. And if we divide 407 by 2, I get 203.5 millimeters squared, or square millimeters. All right, so I walked you through 2 formulas. They are both equivalent formulas, whichever one you prefer. I would suggest using that, either taking half of the height or half of the bases, or dividing by 2 at the end. All right, hope you enjoyed it.